Hello everyone and welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. I'm your host Remon Azab, aka Remon with TeamSkunk, and I'm bringing you another 7-star character review today. This time we're going to be reviewing Raid Han Solo from the Rancor Raid, and he is a member of the Scoundrel and Rebel faction. I have his abilities pulled up over here on swgoh.gg, so let's go over there and take a look. Han Solo, daring attacker that stacks criticals in his favor and always shoots first. He has a basic speed of 136, which is not the worst to start off with, and his health pool is not the worst either, although he does tend to be a bit squishy in battle. Let's go ahead and take a look at his basic ability here. Quick Draw, deal physical damage to target enemy. This attack deals 50% more damage to targets with less than 50% turn meter. So you're going to want to try and see, which targets have less turn meter to possibly be more effective with this attack. And this is an attack he gets to use first at the beginning of the match, which we'll go over when we get to his unique. Now let's go over Deadeye, his first special ability, which is a 3-turn cooldown. Deal physical damage to target enemy and gain turn meter equal to Han's critical chance. So this is another thing that may want to influence the way you mod Han, because giving him an increase to his critical chance will give him more turn meter with this ability. So the more critical chance sets you can give him, the better. The more critical chance secondary abilities, the better. And obviously, if you can give him a critical chance primary ability, that's great as well. Although you may want to go with critical damage there, since he's getting a ton of critical chance, right? So, you're going to have to decide what makes most sense. But obviously, getting as much turn meter as possible there is huge, because if you give him a 80% critical chance or 90% critical chance, that's going to be giving him 90% turn meter. To get to go basically almost right away again, right after he uses that ability. This also gives him an increase in critical chance. His second special ability, which is Never Tell Me the Odds, with a 4-turn cooldown. All allies gain critical chance up and evasion up for 2 turns, and Han has 50% chance to also gain 45% turn meter. So again, Han has a ton of turn meter manipulation. He's got high critical chance as base already, and on top of that, he gets a decent amount of damage out of his 2 special, his special attack and his basic attack as well. So he's a high damage attacker, but he does not have a great health pool. So let's go ahead and take a look at Han's unique ability, Shoots First. Han has plus 35% counter chance, plus 10% critical chance. Han takes a bonus turn at the start of each encounter. During this turn, he can use only his basic ability, but will stun the target for 1 turn. So this is what makes Han special and unique. He gets to shoot first at the beginning of every match. So when you're facing your droid enemies or your droid teams, he's a direct counter to those teams, because he has an opportunity to stun the Jawa engineer before he gets to give all of his droids turn meter, which can give you an advantage in the match, obviously. He's also a good character to face teams like Han teams, for example, that give turn meter to their entire team as well. A lot of teams, or a lot of people out there, have been speeding up their Stormtrooper Han Solos to give their entire team more turn meter. Raid Han can be a direct counter to that, because again, if you stun Stormtrooper Han before he gets a chance to go and give everybody else turn meter, you're kind of stopping them dead in their feet. So that's again, Han is a good counter to a lot of those teams in Arena if you need to beat him. But again, he's not necessarily the greatest on defense. So right now at least, I don't see him having a large enough health pool. He gets killed very quickly. But let's go ahead and take a look at him in battle, and you can decide for yourself. First, let's just take a look at where he's available. Again, Han's only available one place. He's available in the Rancor Raid of as the reward character, and he's, again, not necessarily the most common character out there. Some of you guys have him, some of you guys don't. Some people are still on their way. Some people don't really have many shards for him yet. So for you guys out there that just want to see what you're going to get when you are finished with Han and you have collected all the shards, this is a great way to just get a quick sneak peek at what you're in store for. So let's go ahead and take a look at Han's gear. Now, Han is not the worst of gear, to be honest with you. From 1 to gear 8, it's pretty simple stuff. But once you get to gear 8, from then on, it gets kind of tricky, because he needs a significant amount of raid gear. Let's go ahead. He needs to get from gear 8 to gear 9, he needs an MK5 fusion furnace. From gear 9 to gear 10, and this is where it hurts, he needs a fusion furnace, an MK7 Nubian security scanner, and an MK6 Nubian design tech. So 3 pieces of raid gear to go from gear 9 to gear 10, and then he needs another piece at gear 10, which is another MK5 fusion furnace. And then he needs these super annoying stun guns here at gear 10 as well, but they are much needed because they'll give him an additional, or they'll give him, additional health and HP to make him, last a lot longer, obviously. So any kind of additional HP to Han is definitely necessary, to be honest with you. So the stun guns are fine, but again, like I said, right now at this time, a lot of people are just trying to gear up different characters to get them prepared for the raid. With this new raid, we need a lot more teams than we did for the Rancor raid, so people are just trying to, allocate these pieces of raid gear that they've collected to some of these other characters. So if you're trying to do that, you may want to stay away from, pumping 5 pieces of raid gear into one character, but it really depends on what your necessities are, depends on where you're at in the game. Again, Han is a great character. He's got a really cool set of tools. From what I've seen so far, he doesn't really hold up that great on defense in Arena, but that's just my opinion. So let's go ahead and take a look at Han in the game. So we're going to go back to the Cantina here, and we'll go take a look at my Han over here in the inventory. So Han, here he is. Now, I've been able to Omega his basic ability. I haven't done Deadeye yet, but that's probably going to be the next one I do. I'm right now just kind of trying to allocate some of those Omega mats to raid characters, and Han really doesn't have a huge place in the new raid, so I haven't really seen a need to have him in there. But maybe you guys have a different opinion from your experiences so far, and if you do, please leave me a comment and let me know where you've seen him effective and what part. So, as I said earlier, critical chance mods are probably the way to go. For the purposes of this demonstration, I just wanted to get some mods equipped on him so you guys can see what he looks like with mods. I've gone with tenacity and crit damage sets here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I've equipped. So his arrow mod here is the 30 speed primary, okay, with a critical chance secondary. Then we've gone with critical damage here with the other tenacity mod. And we've gone with the crosshair offense. So again, I'm just trying to get him to hit hard. He already has a pretty significant amount of critical chance at base. So I've tried to increase the critical chance with secondary stats. Even though eventually, when I do get the opportunity, I'm just going to give him 3 sets of crit chance sets so he gets as much turn meter as possible. So let's go to his circle mod here, which is going to be increase in 23% protection with a 12 speed secondary. Obviously you want to make him as fast as possible, just like any other character in the game. It also has a 27 offense, which is good. Anytime you get a solid number of offense, that's always great. He's got a 7 speed secondary here with 8 defense. And then we've gone with a traditional, obviously, offense mod with the square here, but pretty cool to get that 4.28% critical chance as a secondary to increase his turn meter when he uses Deadeye as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at his stats that we have. So he's going into this with 185 speed, a health pool of about 25k here combined. He's got 216% critical damage, which is pretty cool. He's got 60% critical chance, so that's pretty cool too. His special damage is going to be 1478, which is okay. His physical damage is 2349. Again, that's okay. But we're just looking to just kind of get him out there so you guys can see, where he's at. His tenacity, obviously, with the tenacity set that I gave him, is at 44 or almost 45%. So that's not horrible. That may prevent him from getting stunned. But let's go ahead and take a look at Han in battle. So we're going to go to Galactic Wars here and take a look at his abilities. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this squad here, and then we're going to go with a traditional Rebel squad here. So we'll use Wedge, Biggs, we'll use Lando, we'll use Han, and then to round it out, let's go with let's go with Akbar. Why not? So Han has the ability to shoot first, so as we enter this match, he'll be the first player to get a chance to go. So Here, at the start of each encounter, he gets to use his basic attack, which is quick draw. Again, we're going to try to stun a target here. So since droids seem to be the most susceptible to stuns here, and IG-86 is probably our biggest threat on the board, let's go for him. See if we get the stun, and we do. So that's cool. Again, you see, if you're facing, let's say, a Jawa engineer, he definitely has, the ability to stun that Jawa engineer before he, gets the chance to give all the rest of the droids turn meter. So let's just go ahead and punch out IG-88 here. Now we're going to go ahead and take out Leia. Not quite, but okay, let's use this ability here, is special ability Deadeye, which should be able to take Leia out the rest of the way, and with his critical chance might give him a significant amount of turn meter here as well. Actually, let's go with Luminar. 18k on that crit, so that's pretty cool. But you can see his turn meter is pretty much almost all the way full again, so he's pretty much going to get to go right away again afterwards, so that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and take Luminar out here. See, Han gets to go again here, and we're going to use his other special ability here, which is Never Tell Me the Odds, which is going to give all of his allies critical chance up and evasion up for 2 turns. So let's go ahead and do that so you can see what that looks like. Now let's go ahead and take out HK-47 here. Now I'm going to use Akbar's Tactical Genius to give everybody a chance to go again. And we will do that. Oh, HK revived himself. Alright, so we're going to use Han's basic here to take out IG-86. 17k there on a crit. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and take out Leia. And then we're going to go ahead and do the Alpha Strike here to HK-47, 20k. Just because it's fun to see. So, again, Han's pretty cool. He's got a cool set of abilities. But let's go ahead and take him into arena, because I'm sure that's what you guys really want to see, is what he looks like in actual arena comp. And see what he can do. So I'm going to go ahead and take a battle with... Let's go against Chopsticks here. Another guildmate of mine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out... Let's go with the... Let's go with the Rebel trio. So we'll go with Wiggs. And then we'll go with Han. See what we can do here. So we've got Shore Troopers, so we're gonna get to shoot first and taunt first here, which is pretty cool. Alright, but let's see what happens. So he's got B2, which is a pretty good counter to my team. Let's see if we can stun B2 to start the match off with quick draw here. And we do. Great. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to Alpha Strike Anakin Skywalker. Ooh. Okay, so we've dispelled Han Solo. Let's keep going for Anakin here. Just want to get rid of him because, he's pretty deadly once he gets all that turn meter. Now, I want to keep going for... B2, but honestly, I should probably... Yeah, I want to keep going for B2. Oh, that was deadly. Okay, so they eliminated pretty much my entire team right there. That was probably a mistake to go for B2, I guess. But let me taunt here. See if we can make it out of this. Oh, This looks to be the end here. It doesn't look like we're going to make it. Alright, yeah, so Shore Trooper against the rest here is not going to make it, but just basically got destroyed by that Lando, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and try this again. But this time, we're going to use a little bit of a different team composition. So I'm going to go ahead with Rex lead, and we're going to use Palpatine and then Han. See if that gives us a little bit of a better chance against the same team. Again, we're going to go for B2 with the stun at first. Did not work. Okay, now we're going to try to see if we can get the stun with Palpatine. And that did. Okay, so let's gun for B2 here and just get him out of the way as quick as possible. Let's give everybody critical immunity. Now we're going to give everybody tenacity up, and let's see if Han gets a lot of turn meter here, and he does. Pretty much almost full again. Now let's use his quick draw again here. Just try to eliminate B2. Oh. As you can see, like I said, Han is pretty squishy, so he just gets eliminated real quick, unfortunately. Oh, this is brutal. Maybe I shouldn't have faced the B2 team, huh? He's a pretty good... B2 is actually a pretty good counter to most teams. But basically, you get the gist. Han Solo, does have some cool abilities. If you have the right team out there, he can definitely help you out. But he's again, he's kind of squishy, so he doesn't really necessarily have a great place out there. I would say, maybe when he gets to gear 11, he might be a little bit more tanky, which would probably increase his viability in arena in a lot of different places. But he does get, a good amount of turn meter manipulation. He does hit really hard, as you can see with some of those, 17 or 18K critical hits. So he can hit really hard. But anyway, that's pretty much Han Solo in a nutshell. If you guys have any questions, like, comment, subscribe, of course. I'm always here if you guys, need any advice. You can also come check me over at the TeamSkunk Discord. Just go over to www.teamskunk.com and follow the instructions over to our Discord. We also have a new forum up on lordskunk.com website. So if you'd like to go in there with, pretty much no moderation or light moderation in comparison to the normal forums, you can go in there and share your thoughts and get feedback from other Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes players. But as always, may the Force be with you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Remember to check out the live stream this Friday at 8:30 p.m. Where we'll have a ton of great guests and upcoming content. I'm sure we'll be going over a lot of the stuff that was going on this week with the raid. We had a lot of crazy stuff going on, just trying to shuffle around people so that we could get a nice solid alpha raid guild together, so we could complete these AAT raids, because they're very difficult. So again, see you guys on the next one. Thanks.